this is So Inspired Designs, and I am so happy to have you in the craft room with me. Today, we are going to try to finish up this project that I started a couple days ago. I finally got a break, and I am ready to finish it off, and I just wanted to bring you along for the ride because I'm sure that many of you have seen this particular new creativity crafting trend, I guess. And if you're interested in trying it for yourself, then please feel free to go back and watch the previous video where I did the majority of the work on this, where I created this and I created our frame. And this is basically, it's called a bust out canvas. So I'm going to finish it off. I am doing it with a mermaid tail. So it's going to be super colorful and super fun, and I just could not wait to finish it with you guys. So this is a project that I did using mostly my Chalk Couture transfer stencils and chalk paste. So all the things you see here are stencil transfers that I have on the back as well, and my chalk paste. This again is a design that I already had with one of my transfer stencils and of course chalk paste again with a wood cutout. Now you could do this with something besides a wood cutout. You could use a piece of foam, you could use a piece of cardboard, or you could even just use a piece of paper if you wanted to do the same design. Or you could put this design directly on the back page that's going to be showing like what's busting out. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. But here it is here. I'm going to set that aside because that's all done. And this is all done as well. We went ahead and I chalked these designs on the front. You have to also chalk on the back or do a design on the back. I do suggest not using anything too thick. If you decide you're going to do something besides chalk paste or paint, if you're going to use like a napkin or a piece of tissue paper, or even a piece of wrapping paper, I think that would be thin enough that you'd still have quite a bit of flexibility with your canvas. But if you use cardstock, just keep that in mind. It's going to be a little less pliable. It's going to be harder to get it to do what you want it to do. So that's my recommendation there. And I do plan on doing one more of these with no Chalk Couture supplies. So just so you know, but just think outside the box. Look at what I've got, and you can either ask me if I have something like this available, or if I could make a recommendation. And maybe you just don't even want to do a mermaid. Maybe you're just looking at the technique and not necessarily the project, the design that I'm doing. Because when I started creating this the other day, I spent probably a good 30 to 45 minutes just talking about all the possibilities of what we could do with this. So now my brain is just thinking of, oh, I could do that, and I could do this, and I could do that. So it doesn't have to be limited to the design that I'm choosing this particular time. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside right now as well, because this part is done until we're ready to assemble everything. So I'm going to set that aside as well. And now what I'm going to move on to is I am going to cover the back. So this is basically the back piece. You're going to see some of it. You're not going to see all of it. It's going to be behind that other canvas, and then I'm going to put my mermaid tail on it. But I don't want to leave it white. So this is one of those canvas panels from Dollar Tree. You can get them probably anywhere. Obviously, you can get them at Dollar Tree. You can get them in a lot of different sizes. I just chose to go with the 8x10. And I was saying when I was sharing ideas the other day that you could even do this with just a piece of cardboard, you guys. I have so much cardboard stash that I could easily do that. And that's probably what I'll do with my next project. You can even use a piece of cardboard, but you're going to want to cover it somehow. So you may want to paint it. Again, you may want to put, on this one, you may want to put a piece of cardstock. That's what I'm going to be doing, because I have this fabulous shimmery piece of cardstock, and I just think it's going to go perfectly with the colors and the theme that I chose. So let me put this up against it so you can see how amazing that's going to look on there, right? So if you want to use any other kind of cardstock, again, tissue paper, you could just paint it. You can do a napkin, whatever, a piece of fabric, whatever you think would be great as a background. So that's what we're going to do next. So come along with me. Obviously this was 99 cents. I don't think it was. I think it came in a pack that I had gotten, like one of those clearance packs from the Hobby Lobby. All right, now I'm going to try to cut this pretty much as close to the same size, but I don't have to worry about it being exactly the same size, because guess why, guys? This is going to adhere to the back, so you're not going to see like the edges. So it's no big deal if all of you, if you don't cover it all the way to the edge, just to give you a little, so you're not wasting your paper, So I'm just going to eyeball it as I always do. And I am going to trace, let's see if I can at least try to get it straight though. I am going to trace, what does that seem like? Oh, it's because my bottom thing is not. Okay, I think that's about right. I'm just going to trace. I haven't even taken the plastic off of my canvas panel yet. All right, so I'm just tracing that so I have a way to cut it out. And let's go ahead and open this up as well. So I don't know about you, but I have different scissors I use for paper, different ones I use for my transfer stencils, different ones I use for my ribbons. So, well, that's not getting me in there. let's try something else. This always works. This is one of those little weeding tools. I've never used it for that, but it works perfectly for busting into plastic. Go ahead and take that. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. And when you hop on, please let me know that you're watching. I decided not to do this one live just because in case I needed to do some stops and starts or speed it up, since part 1 of the video was rather lengthy. And when I'm doing this, actually, it's pretty late at night because that's when I finally got done with all of my chores and cleaning for the day, for the last day and a half, 2 days, preparing for having my daughter come visit. So I am going to go ahead and just cut where on the line as close as I can. Like I said, this isn't going all the way to the edge, so, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. So you don't necessarily need to pull out like a paper trimmer or anything to make it completely straight. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way with just my handy-dandy scissors. And then we're just going to Mod Podge this to that canvas panel, you guys. That's all. And again, I could have chose anything I wanted for the background. I could have just painted it, save myself some time. If you want to do that, do that. But there's so many different ideas that you could do with this, guys. I was sharing a couple the other day. You know, I'm doing this with a mermaid tail. I'm actually going to be putting it in my VIP group. So if you're not already in my VIP group, make sure that you type in VIP or you look at my link tree and you subscribe to that. It's just a free crafting group where I can do some sales and specials and things like that. Sneak peeks, just different things like that that I can't do out here on my page. And I would love to have you guys in there with it. If I'm going to save that, you know, I'm going to save that piece of paper. Y'all know I am. But I have some other little emblems that you could use if you're trying to go for a beachy theme. I have some I'm going to be offering in there for purchase. And if not, I was also talking about some other ideas. Look, I have this sticker on here. I guess I'll go ahead and take that off since I don't really need that in the way. I don't know if it'll affect my paper at all or my project, but we'll go ahead and see if we can try to take it off. And if I was smart, I would use my little blow dryer, warm up the sticker and pull it off. That would make it much easier. In my VIP group, I am going to be offering some of those little extra items. But you know, if you have something for fall, or you want to do it the theme of your kitchen, I was saying the other day, like for example, you know, if you want to do a coffee cup or a tea cup, that would be super fun, and you could do it on a smaller canvas or a bigger or the same size canvas. That would be fun. I may do one with a coffee cup. Because I just, you know, I love coffee and I love decorating my coffee bar. So if you're new here, that's one thing that you'll see on here every once in a while. Okay, so I'm just taking some Mod Podge to this panel. And this is the matte kind. Oh goodness, let's see if I can get it open right. There we go. And I am just going to pour some of it on here. And I'm just using a foam brush that I've used before, you guys. I reuse them when it's for Mod Podge. So we're just going to cover it as best we can. You know, a nice coat. And I'm just going to do the wet method since I'm using this piece of cardstock, and it is rather thick because it's kind of shimmery. So it's, you know, it's not like a piece of paper. I'm not sure what they made it out of, but it is definitely thicker than a piece of regular cardstock would be. So I feel like I can do the wet technique and not have to worry about whether or not any of it's going to tear. So I don't know about you guys, but you know, I'm trying to make the most of the last little bit of summer since it is winding down. And, you know, I'm happy as I can be that my daughter is getting to come visit for a little bit before she has to start back. She's in a master's program and an internship. So she's been working this summer and she hasn't been to our home since Christmas time. So a lot has changed since then because I have been one little busy bee. But of course, knowing that she's coming, I'm like, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. Do you guys do that when you have company coming? Does that make you say, and I say company, it's my daughter. That's not company, but I still, especially with her, because I care about her opinion. But, you know, not that I care about her opinion. I want her to look around and be like, oh yeah, that makes me think of home. I remember that from our last house, you know. So I'm just busy making my house a home, and I want her to feel comfortable in it as well, or anyone that comes. But, you know, even with her, I'm like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. On top of the cleaning, you know, and it's not just inside. Oh, it's like, oh, I got to do this outside too, because I want everything to be done when they get here. And of course, it's always a work in progress. When you own a home or you live someplace that you're able to do a lot to it, you know, it's always a work in progress. So I'm just covering this whole piece with Mod Podge. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. And I have a lot of extra. So I'm going to try to pull off some of it because I don't think I need that much. And I'm going to use a different kind of glue, though, to assemble my project. I'm just using the Mod Podge to get the paper on. because that's the easiest, I feel like. I'm going to go this way too, just because, you know how a canvas is kind of like a linen, and it's got cross hatching and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure I have glue in every spot. And then this also helps me pull off some of the extra. And then I have some things that I just can't get to, and I'm like, oh, that's good, because she's really good. I bounce ideas off of her a lot, and she helps me with stuff. I'll be like, so I was thinking about doing this. What do you think? Or what do you think I should put here? So it's funny because she and I have completely different tastes in so many things, but she gets me, I get her, and so we work well together. I'll put it that way. And I'm thankful for that, because I know not everybody can say that. All right, I think I got that done. Got a little Mod Podge on my hand, but you know how that is. Messy crafters, that's how it works. Okay, so I'm just going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to attach it to my canvas. And like I said, I didn't make it exactly all the way to the edge because I know I'm going to be gluing the edge, the edges to the back of my canvas anyway. So I'm good that without covering it all the way to the edge. So once I have it where I want, now I don't even know with this one, since it doesn't have like a distinct pattern, it's not even that important that I, oh, look, I got some right on there though. I don't have a baby wipe. Let me pull out a baby wipe. It's always good to have baby wipes close by for your hands and for little things like that where I got glue and I didn't want to have glue there. But I don't really think I need to worry about, I'm going to actually use one of my squeegees, you guys. It's going to help me get this down. Oh, look, it's picking up the glue from the edge. Dang it. I probably used too much glue, and I really don't want it on the front because I don't know if it's going to mess it up. You know, sometimes that will happen. All right, so let's see. Let's try again. I'll just be a little more careful. I'm going to start from here just to smooth it out. Oh my goodness, I got some again. I went too far to the edge with my glue, but that's okay. It's going to be all right, guys. It's still going to turn out fabulous. Look, it's taking off some of the color. That's what I was worried about. But I'm going to try not to stress about that. Let's go ahead and just do it this way. Get my hands dirty and hope that I can smooth it out this way. Okay, I don't want bubbles, so hopefully, I mean, although it's under the sea, bubbles would probably be okay, right? If it was under the sea. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside and let this dry for a few minutes. Okay, we're going to set that aside and let it dry a few minutes. And set that there. Make sure I wiped off the glue. Okay, so what else? What else? What else? Okay, while that is drying, because really after this, we're going to start assembling. After that is done drying, or while that is drying, it's coming up on the edges a little. While that's drying, I'm going to show you something else we're going to do to just have a little more fun with our design. So I have this, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I have this cool transfer stencil that has 12 different designs on it. We call them minis, and we usually have them with a bunch of different themes and a lot of inspirational sayings, just all different kinds of things. Well, this particular one that I have is called Lake Time Beach Vibes, and I'm going to do this cute little mermaid off duty because I'm doing a mermaid and I just think it'll be super fun. So what I did was I found a piece of foam. I have a piece of foam in the purple color. As you can see, I've done things in the past with it. And I am just going to take my transfer stencil and I am going to, have I cut it all the way? Oh, I haven't cut it all the way. Let me cut it. I have not cut that little guy off there. I usually only cut the ones when I'm actually using it. I don't cut them all at once. And I keep mine full on my backer sheet. I keep the back sheet full and I just cut my transfer stencils. I have a nice little score line there. I call it a score line. It's just really a little silk screen line there. And I'm going to take this particular transfer and I'm going to put it on my foam. And then we're just going to fussy cut around it. I probably won't make it square. I'm trying to think what shape I will do it. But I'm just going to put it right on my foam. Okay, pressing down where the silk screen is. And I decided I'm going to go with my coral again. I use this on the back of the design here. So I want to pull that color in one more time just to have another little pop of color to go along with all my blues and purples and all those beautiful colors. So I'm just going to take one of my squeegees and get a little, it won't take very much. And I'm going to do it right on the foam. Now you could also, I have mentioned that it might be fun to even do it on one of these little turtles, but I decided I would just do it on foam this time. But I think it would be super fun to do it on the turtle. Or if you want to use the, here's the other thing I just thought of while I was doing this. I truly believe that as you get creating, you come up with more creative ideas. So my encouragement to you is always going to be just create, just get in there and do something. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's about the process. It's not always about whether you've created a work of art or it was perfection. You see how little chalk paste I used there? Hardly any. And how fast and easy that was. So here it is. See how that pops right on there? Isn't that awesome? So we're going to take it off. And it already has some distressing built into my transfer. I'm just checking to make sure that's what that is, because some of it, there we go. I'm pressing it through a little bit harder. I'm using the straight side of my transfer stencil, but it does have some distressing built into it. But look how fun that is. So that's going to dry in about 6 or 7 minutes. So I'm going to set that over to the side, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to cut it out and apply it to it. I may do a circle. I may do fussy cut around it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet. Now I'm going to spray a little water on that until I can clean it in the sink, with just some cool running water and a board eraser. Oh, okay. My daughter's texting me because she's the one that's on her way. So I just want to see it. All right. And let's go ahead and move over to this. All right. So I also showed that, oh, what was I going to say? I'm sorry, I got distracted so easily. So you know how I was telling you about those minis? You guys, doesn't take much. How I was telling you about these minis, you could paint this a fun color and use this as your behind, what's going to go behind that would bust out. You could even do this on a smaller canvas if you found one. I believe that now I don't know, they don't have the canvas. I don't think they had the panels in a square size, but they did have canvases in square size instead of a rectangle. So you could even do that with one of the turtles, paint it a color, and maybe do something fun like this, like go jump in the ocean, or I don't know what else. Beach access, something like that. You could put one of those designs on the back of here like that, and design it that way too, just to give it a little added interest. So, or you could even use some paint markers and add your own details to it. Now, what's going to happen next? This is going to get adhered in a minute. Once this is completely dry, my Mod Podge thing over here, okay? I'm going to adhere it. But I've got to wait and make sure I have it all lined up first, because I don't want to adhere anything until I'm sure. Now, I did show you that I picked up these from the Dollar Tree as well. I have some somewhere. I haven't been able to find them. But it's $1.25. I would highly encourage you to have at least one set in your craft room, because there's always going to be something you could use them for. And we are going to need these for our last step, because I really won't even be able to finish it. I'll have to leave it set like that until it completely sets, the glue sets. Okay, but you definitely want to have some of these on hand as well. But what we're going to do next is we are going to, let me think, because I was thinking we may need, you know what, we may need to, I was just looking to see if it looked like there was a top or a bottom, but I don't really think there is. Which one I like better? Maybe there. Maybe there. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. Because then I can put the mermaid over here, I think. The mermaid off duty. So what we have to do, why you need those, is we are going to take glue and we are going to put this down. We're going to put a bead of glue all the way around here and adhere it. And we're going to use those little clamps to hold on to it. And then what we also need to do is find out, where do we need to place our mermaid. So I'm just going to kind of do this temporarily. I'm not going to glue it yet, because I'm not sure if I want to take it off. But I'm going to go ahead and use these to hold on to my, oh shoot, y'all. Yeah, it barely goes on there. I was going to say it's not going to do it. It barely holds it. Okay, but that's going to hold on to it just enough to kind of stabilize it for me while I figure out what needs to go where. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad now that I've got these together. You know, they're not matching up like 100%. Come on now, get over there. You can see a little bit of the back, or the little outside of this back. Sorry, my light, I have my light on. The panel kind of overshoots the back of that because they're not exact. But I think with the fact that I didn't take the purple all the way out to it, I think that it makes it so it's not as obvious. The top to bottom is pretty good, but the side to side, it looks like it's not exactly square. Now, why am I doing that? Because, I guess I could flip it around so y'all can see it. Because what I need to do is I need to figure out where to put these guys, how far to move these back, the busted out part. But I also need to see where I need to put my mermaid tail. Like, where is going to be the best place for it? And I won't have a lot of time to play with it once I put the glue on it. So I am going to just kind of play with it for a second and see. And then once, because I want to see as much of the tail as possible, okay? But I kind of want to hide a little bit of the top, almost like you're only seeing her tail and maybe the rest of her is somewhere else. But I want to see, because I may even have to cut these a little bit more, where I should place those. And then that's also going to help me determine how much to pull this out, but then also where to place my tail. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm playing with right now. So I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's good. And the glue that I am using is called Stick Fast. I am using the thick, and if you need a link to this, I'll be happy to include it for you. I got it off of Amazon. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else or not, but I got it off of Amazon. And it does matter what thickness you get, because if you get too thin, it won't. All right, so what I'm going to try to do, I know I'm making this kind of hard. Okay, this is what we'll do. We're going to leave this here. What I'm going to do is put a little glue dot, a little tiny one of those Dollar Tree, again, to my Dollar Tree. You guys, I do shop other places. I have one right close by. And if I can get away with using something that works just as well and isn't as expensive, then I'm always happy about that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little glue dot on the back of these just to help me until I'm ready to glue it down. Just to kind of help me keep it in place while I do the rest of it. Okay, I think that'll work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the Stick Fast and we're going to start gluing back our busted out part, okay? And like I said the other day, if you go back and watch that section, you'll see you can curl these and just put it up here like this, where you curl it and tack it down. You can come all the way around it if you would like and do it that way. I think let me see what it looks like if I curl it. If I curl it, you guys, this is my first time doing it, so I'm just kind of walking through it with you, so you can have an idea of how to think through things as well. I don't know if I curl it, I think it might work better than me wrapping it all the way around. But there might be a time I might wrap it all the way around too, if I want it really wide open. But I think with this one, I think with the sides anyway, I can curl it. So what am I going to do that? That's why you need a design on the inside and the outside, because you're going to see that. I'm going to put a little dab of this glue right here, and I chose not to use hot glue. Number one, because I'm afraid I'll burn my fingers right and left, but also because this gives me more permanence. So I'm just going to fold that over, roll it over like that. Now, if it hangs off the side a little bit or curls up, I'm okay with that. And really, this glue only takes a moment to set up, so it's not too bad. And that's all it takes. It's just a little thing like that. Do you see what's happened already? See, look, you can see I just tucked it around, and there you go. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing going all around. Now, I can choose where to place this. Like this one, I'm going to go down this way a little bit. And I'm trying to stay here on the point as much as possible. And my tail, I only glued the top part, put a little glue dot on the top part. But when I get done, get ready to glue it all the way down, I'll probably just do it there. Now, I was pressing that one a little hard, so it kind of bent a little bit. If you want it to curl up, then you just kind of play with it. But that's what we got so far. All right, now this one with the bottom, you guys, I may have to go all the way around with the bottom one. And if that's the case, then I'm probably going to have to unhook it. I'll probably have to do it before I glue it, unless I glue it all the way down there. So let me flip around and just do the other side. I'm thinking out loud. This is me thinking out loud. Don't get panicked. Don't get worried. It's when you start answering yourself that you have to worry, right? I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. And I'm trying to use my little, this is a wooden toothbrush I got for something, and I don't particularly like the feel of wood in my mouth. So I decided it would work in the craft room. And I put one of those little finger protectors on the end of it, because that helps. So you don't burn yourself or get glue all over your fingers if you're using glue like this. Okay, so just make sure you're putting the glue on this side, on the inside, because that's going to flip all the way around as you're doing it this way, if you're doing it the way that I'm showing you right now. Okay. And if you had a glue gun, you could do it with a glue gun too. With glue guns, if they get affected by the heat, the glue from a glue gun, if it gets affected by the heat or the cold, it can come undone. All right, so that's what we got so far. You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? And I'm trying to think if I want these to look like this too. If I want to curl them up so that it just looks like that. I think it would be easier with this one to do it that way. So let's just do it that way. Let's just do it the same way. Let's do it the same way on all of them. We can experiment with other ones. Told you guys, I have all kinds of ideas. So this will not be the last time. Hopefully, as I do them, I'll get a little bit faster and a little better and maybe more concise in how I can explain it to you because I feel like I'm like, my brain's all jungled around. So I'm trying to explain it to you guys while I'm figuring it out myself. Do you know what I mean? And I don't usually like take the time to do one ahead of time of any projects when I'm doing projects. I just do it with you guys. And I figure, you know what? We're all friends here. I'm not a paid professional. So I'm sure you guys will give me some grace. This is just fun. Creating should be fun, you guys. It should be a stress reliever, not a stress inducer. Do you agree? Let me know if you agree in comments. And even though you're catching this on the replay, please say hey or let me know where you're watching from, especially if you're new, or just respond to me like you were watching me live, just because it's more fun to interact with you guys. And I always go back and check comments. Now see, this one, I think I'm going to kind of come over to the side a little more and almost like curl it right here. And that kind of blends in with what I'm doing. So those are done, right? So I'm almost like curling it way around, like a curly Q, instead of just underneath, like what I did with the other ones. This is the only one I'm really not happy with how it's sitting, but I think once I get it all done, it won't be that big of a deal. All right. And this one too. That way it's kind of like, it's like an opening. Now, if you have another kind of glue that you like, I have a friend who uses reptile glue. If you like Gorilla Glue, whatever you have that you know will stick fairly quickly and then permanently, I would suggest that. But give you maybe a little room to wiggle just for a few seconds. You know, use whatever you think is going to work for you. All right, that's done, you guys. That part's done. So look, now it's all busted open, right? And you know, part of me is like, ooh, do I have any other? I could actually put real shells on here too, you guys. I don't have to just do these little signs. I could chalk like this little seahorse, or like some of these, those are really small. Some of the shells, I could do stuff like that if I wanted to, or I could actually apply some real sea glass or something like that. A lot of times I will add real sea glass or real shells or real starfish to my projects just to give it that one more element. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now we're going to glue down our tail. Now I'm going to glue down my tail. I've still got that on there. I'm going to take that off because it's kind of making it stand up too much. I don't like it. Making it bump up. And we're going to hopefully get this on here fairly quickly, exactly where I want it. You know what? I want to see as much of the tail as possible. So wish me luck. We're going to go for it. And did I say that was the top? Where did I say was the top? Or was that the top? Does it matter? I just pulled it off there, so I'm thinking that I'm good. And I can see like discolor. It's okay. I'm gonna let it go. I can see where I wiped it with the wipe. It's all right. So I'm just gonna cover this. I don't think it takes a lot to hold it. It's a wood, but it's a very lightweight wood. Now I don't want to mess around too much, even though this will dry clear. I don't want to mess around, scooting it around too much. So I want to try to have it kind of where I want it when I go to put it down, so I'm not smearing glue everywhere. So like I said, you only have a few minutes to play with it before it kind of sets. Gosh, this is so cool, you guys. This is so cool. Okay, so let me show you what I got so far. Show you where we're at. See? Is that neat? What do you think, guys? I don't know if you've ever seen anyone like this. Now, I'm just trying to think, like, what else would be fun down here? Like, we could put some other things down here. Some bubble, you know, something that looked like a bubble. I could even use, like, some of the little, let me think. I could use, like, some of the little small glass marbles, like the half marbles, maybe. I don't know. I might do some of that on here. I mean, I don't want to make it too heavy because I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm probably just going to lean it. I'm not going to put a hanger on it. Okay, so that's all done. Before we glue down this last part, well, actually, I guess we could go ahead and do that, you guys. We'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll do the fussy cut on that, and then we'll be done. So that didn't take too long. I think all of the process the other night took longer because I was talking and because I was giving, you know, trying to figure out some numbers and some measurements while I was doing it. And like I said, this is my first time. I think it's pretty dang good for the first time. I'm happy with it. And honestly, I think if you were going to give this to someone, that they would be happy with it too. So don't be afraid to try it. And guys, if you do, will you let me know? I can't tell you how much joy it brings me when I find out, and that's what I also have in my VIP group, when I find out that one of you guys have tried a technique or a product or a design that I have shared with you, and you show me how you've used it in your world. I love that. Come on now. How did I get it on there before? I love that. I'm telling you, these little clippy things are great, but they are a snug fit. They don't open up super duper wide. I don't know. I'll put one on all four corners just because it's a little uneven in here, and I want to make sure it's grabbing the glue as much as possible. You see what I'm saying? Can you see a little gap in there? I think it's going to be fine when it's all done. Okay, I'm going to let that sit here and dry, which it's probably nearly dry right now as it is. Okay, make sure you put your lid on your glue. So if you have any questions about any of the supplies I used, you can look back at my last video as well that had to do with this. It was part 1 for a busted canvas. Or you can just ask me in comments and I will put a response in there, and that way everybody has them. All right, guys, I'm looking for my cute little scissors that I always use because I don't have those pulled out. Where did that go? I have the cutest little scissors. I don't know where they are. All right, we'll use these. Maybe these will work. Shoot. Wait a minute. Oh, here they are. Here they are. These aren't as sharp. These are okay, but they're not as sharp. I think these are like little kid ones. I don't even know. I don't even know, but these are better because they're sharp. All right, so I think, because look, right now I'm like, I'm not even sure where I'm going to put this bad boy. So let's see. I could, oh, I don't know if I like it in there with that though. I think I could put it in there, or I could put it on the corner. I could even have it dangling. Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I'm going to cut all the way around it, like a fussy cut all the way around it, just with a little tiny border. I'm not going to go in like to every little nook and cranny, but I am going to just give it a little tiny border. And if you don't already like and follow my page, if you're finding this fun or enjoyable, or if you're looking for inspiration or encouragement, I would love to have you following along with me, because it's my hope and prayer to encourage you, or just educate you or entertain you, but hopefully inspire you to try something creative. Even if it's not something I'm doing, if it inspires another idea in you. I can't tell you how much I get inspired by other creators. That's what I do usually with my spare time. As a matter of fact, I will post ideas that I find on there because I'm like, oh, that is so cool. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but it's super cool. I got to share it. So if I find something that inspires me, whether it's a sunset or someone else's creation, I like to share that with you guys as well, because you never know what might inspire you. And you know, we need some nice positive spaces to go. No drama zones. I like to be in a drama-free zone as much as possible. I don't know about you guys. So that's all. I just fussy cut that. You see it? Sorry, I got you out of the light. See that? Look how cute that is. Okay, so now we're going to figure out where are we going to put it. Where are we going to put it? I don't want to put it on the tail. I could put it there. I'm not sure. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put this anywhere yet. I could put this in here. I could make a little hole in it and I could kind of dangle it. I could put it on a little popsicle stick and put it that behind it and attach it somewhere on here, like up here or something, to make it look like a little sign. I could do that as well, or I could even just put it right here. So here's where you come in. I am going to post this video and I'm going to ask for you in comments to let me know, where should I put her mermaid off-duty sign? Let me know. Let me know in comments. Okay. All right. I'm going to take these off because it should be dry, and let's see if it held up. Let's see. Let's see how it did. I think we're good. It's staying on. But there you go. That's my project idea for you. Now, here's another thing I would encourage you to do. When I do a piece of art or a craft and I'm giving it to someone, or even if I'm not, if I'm selling it or giving it to someone, I always put my signature on here and I put the date. Like, I wouldn't put the full date. I would just put like 8/24, or I put 24. So I knew I did it in 2024 and I have my initials on it, because this is your work of art and you have every right to claim it. But, you know, if somebody were to look at it and say, oh, who made that? I don't remember who made that. There you go. Look, I've got it upside down. I'm sitting here showing you guys upside down. There she is. Okay, so if you would, thanks so much for dropping by and watching the process. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it taught you. I was able to help you figure this little process out a little bit through my trials and tribulations. And if you would, let me know in comments what you think I should do with her little mermaid off-duty sign so that I can go ahead and finish it. And that's it. I'm going to let you go. Until I see you next time, as always, please be safe, be healthy, be blessed.